Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Torque Works. Today I'm going to go over the long-term review of the 2022 and 23 model Toyota Tundra. So this is going to be a little different than my last one I did on the Tacoma. This one's over 15,000 miles that we've driven this truck. So I have a few things to say, a few updates to give, and I'll let you guys put some comments down below. Let me know what you think about it. If you have any questions and maybe some comments about what you notice, what your thoughts are. Maybe you have one, chime in. So let's take a look at it. Still looking great on the exterior. I haven't had or noticed any issues whatsoever. These tires that come on the TSS here with the 20-inch TRD rims, still holding up great. No scratches, scuffs, nothing. I haven't curbed it or anything. Tires are still looking great. Tons of tread. And this one's over 15,000 miles now. In case you guys don't know or haven't seen the other videos, this model is the two-wheel drive model. So no four-wheel drive. Haven't had any issues with alignment. No issues with steering, shocks, linkage. Everything's good. Since they've kind of redesigned this one for the 22 model year, if you guys have seen them or got your hands on one, supposedly, according to Toyota, it's pretty much completely redesigned, frame up. So I was very curious myself, owning many of these throughout the years, the V8 versions and how they handle. I was absolutely unfamiliar with these as they've changed them. So I was curious. Headlights, they are full LED. They've been great, no issues. Bulbs, everything's good in true Toyota fashion. The quality and the reliability really seems to be there. Front end, you see we have the fogs down here. Also, they're still working great. The safety sense with your radar and things like that, no issues. Same as before with the safety features though. If you're in heavy rains or snow, which I've been through all of that with this truck, this will get blocked. It'll give you a notification inside that lets you know to clean it off. And like it says, just wipe it off. Obviously, heavy rains, you can't do that. Now, there is a windscreen that comes down here at a certain mile per hour on the road. Also, that works fine. No weird noise, functionality issues or anything with that. Now, on this one, we did get the clear paint protector. I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of sunny. Weird, you might be able to see the line. That's about as much of that as you can see. It's holding up really well. Had a dropping land here. I don't know if you could see it. It's very kind of hard to remove, but other than that, no chips, no nothing. You can have this removed if you need to. Paint looks great. You can kind of see it in the light there. Let's go take a look at the bed around back. And I have hauled many things in it. Some loads, some heavy stuff, materials drop down. I'll show you what that looks like and how that's holding up. So as we come around back here, I'll show you. So you know that they have changed the bed. It's no longer a metal bed. It's a composite material, similar to what you'll find on the Toyota Tacomas. Obviously a bigger bed. This one is the 5.5 foot bed. You see on the sides, other than dirt and things, there's really no scratches, which I would say I'm surprised, but not exactly, because we've owned the Toyota Tacoma, and it held up the same. Now, I do have a few more videos coming on this truck about the pros and cons or likes and dislikes. So I'll leave those videos for you guys later to take a look at, and we'll talk more about all these things and what I may like and dislike about it. We're just going to show you kind of how it's holding up. So no scrapes. We've put lumber in this. We've hauled bricks, all sorts of things. I mean, literally nothing is wrong with this bed. So I do like that. I think all of you guys would. We've used these many times and moved them around. You can find these on the older Tundras too, and the Tacoma as well. They work well. I mean, if you keep it at the rating, which is actually printed on here, it's just a few hundred pounds, and you don't go over that, you really don't have to worry about it bending or messing up on you. So everything's just fine back here in the bed on the business end. So I'll take you around and let's look at the inside and see how that's holding up. We'll start around back here. So this one being the SR5, the TSS package. If you guys are in Gulf states, you'll know what I mean. If not, ask me down below and we'll go over it. Windows, door locks, all the good stuff. The doors, the upholstery, everything is good. It's holding up. You know, you do have lots of the plastics, some soft touch surfaces, no rips. I have 3 kids and a dog, and you know, they know me, so they try to keep everything nice and clean, but they're still kids and a small dog. So, you know, scratches, smudges, whatever, scuffs from feet, it's holding up really well. There's nothing, you know, and I do wipe it down, obviously, but there's nothing there. So just let you know, it does hold up, even though it's plastic. I do like this material. My kids do too, because it's not hot or cold when they sit. This is considered black. I know in the video it looks a little gray because of the light outside, but it is, I would say, a very deep gray or a matte black. The material is also nice because it doesn't, like, I really have to grab it and pull on it to make it crease. I know in the past other vehicles with this type of material, when you sit or scoot too much, it will actually pull the material and it will bunch up just because it's thin. This one's very thick, very nice. You got some different stitching and tones in here that really kind of showcase things and make it look different and not super boring for the kind of seat that it is. Now in this SR5, you'll notice there's not an armrest, so nothing to report there. But as far as like the back, so you know, this pulls down for storage. It still works great, you know, no issues really there. But I have noticed with the bottom, so you also pull up and you'll have this strap to pull the seat back down. This is how you access your storage under the seat. This seat and I guess you would say it's the 40 split on that side. When you pull that side up, it will not match the side anymore. It doesn't lock into place in the same spot. I don't know if it's because this one is much longer and there's more weight, but as you can see, it's kind of a little floppy. It's a little bit of a complaint that has started just over time. It hasn't been like that the whole time. Everything in here, as you can see, clean. You can get dividers for it. Everything works. There's nothing really moving in here, kind of like the Fords and things. So it's just a open space to store things. Pull the latch here, let it down. Buckles and everything are great. I will touch on this. I probably could save it for another video, but the seat belt, I really like this style versus the old one, because you can take this into the seat belt and move it down here, and you can see this little hole. If you put the seatbelt end into that hole, it will unbuckle the belt from here. So if you have a seat cover, or I don't know what kind of car seat you would use for it, but you can maneuver this around and then rebuckle and attach the safety strap back into its buckle here and kind of maneuver it around things where you normally can't pass things through it for whatever reason. I have a seat cover that always goes in my trucks and cars. I've shown it to you in other videos. I'll link it down below if you ever want to buy one. But there's no way to get it through here and still be able to fasten it and things like that. So really like that. It's nice. Vents and cup holder holding up, you know, again, plastics, but they hold up well. They're still functional, nothing breaking, everything's holding up well. This one has the all-weather floor liners from Toyota. These are just a really nice rubber. Husky liner makes some like this. There are many manufacturers. Toyota printed ones, they're fine. They came with the truck, and they're non-slip. I like that, and they hold up well. Seat backs, everything look good. Headliner, that's important to some people. I've had some people ask about that. They use a very similar one that they use the same type material, it feels like, as the old ones. But holds up great. As you can see, no sunroof to report on this one. LEDs, still not super bright in this truck, but they do the job and they're holding up. Back glass too, no sound, no leaks, no nothing. It works great. So let's hop in the front and we'll look at that. All right, hopping in the front here. So, surfaces, They're all holding up. The screen, this one only has the 8-inch. It too is working fine. Down here, as you can see, it's a lot of reflection. So Toyota, I can only speak to it for this one. They really seem to like this up here in this part of the truck, because you have it here, you have it surrounding your multimedia screen down here, where you have your controls for the HVAC and things like that, and all over the steering wheel. My complaint with this is it scratches very easy. You can see even now, and it just got cleaned, there's a little dust. If you just wipe that with your hand, it will scratch this. That's just a little complaint from me, but it's annoying. This stuff in your center rest, you know, they changed this as well a little bit. It works fine. This is a little flimsy. So it just doesn't, I don't know if that's even picking up in videos. It's shaky. Little flimsy. It's still attached. It's still working, but it's flimsy. This one, the little tray that moves back and forth, it's cool. I use it all the time because it's just, you know, pull it back. It's just easy, right, to access things. It too is a little flimsy. And when I say flimsy, I mean, you can tell whatever materials they use, the tolerances are different. And over time, even in the 15,000 that I've been driving this truck, I can tell there's a lot of noise in the cabin made by things like this. Moving around this, I maybe even, let me move in the seat. Maybe you can even hear the seat. So the seat feels fine. I'm not shaking around when I drive it. But even this one too, when there's no passenger, it's a lot of kind of vibration, and there's a lot of noise coming from all these plastics that meet together. The tolerances must be different. I don't know. I'm not going to go into it. Even as an engineer, I'm not going to deep dive right now. But I'm just letting you know that in just 15,000 miles so far, there's a lot of cabin noise from things not like necessarily creaking or cracking, but you get what I'm saying by mentioning that. There's just some noise that I'm not used to, okay, in my older Tundras. As far as functionality, let me start it up. Obviously, it's going to start. It's a Toyota. This one, being the SR5 again, you have the analog gauges, or non-digital gauges. They're mechanical. And you also have the small digital screen in the middle, which you're probably used to because that's in the older models. Everything works great. The lighting's great, illumination. The screen we touched on a minute ago. Climate control. So everything's working good up here. Controls, definitely different. If you've been in the newer Camrys, you'll notice that a lot of these buttons are very similar. The newer RAV4s, since they're kind of going with the new platform. It's definitely different. It's smoother. It's a decent feel. There's just a lot of them. I'm a little old school, so I don't necessarily love all the buttons. I only use a few of them. I still find myself reaching over to grab the knob to adjust volume. Still to this day, I do that. I don't know why, but you do have a lot of features here. A lot of the safety features for your radar cruise control, that's adaptive, lane keep, things like that are all here, and you can select them up on the screen, and everything's working just great, holding up well. Fuel economy. So I'll do a separate video on that too. If you guys haven't seen it, I'll link it, and you can take a look at it. So fuel economy, we'll look at what it has on here. So on this tank, okay, this goes off the tank, 16.6, as you can see. As you may have guessed, I don't sound super excited about it because that's not fantastic. It's not as bad as I've gotten in the 5.7 liter iForce V8 that we had in previous generation, which is still my favorite. But driving on the highway, I was able to get much better than this in that truck, personally. I'm not a fan of this, and that's mixed driving. And I generally get much better MPGs than most people. Don't know how. It's just the way I drive. And I'm able to get over 20 in this on the highway, but generally it is not. And so that's a little bit of a disappointment to me going to this truck, because they really kind of touted the, above 20 mile per gallon point in this truck versus our outgoing V8. Door panel, very similar to the back, except you have soft touch surfaces up here. As you can see, no scratches, scuffs. It's holding up well. Everything's good. It doesn't really move much. That's a lot of opening and closing for 16,000 miles. And it's doing well. Buttons, everything's holding up nicely. So I will say the transmission shifting being the 10-speed, and the engine, the power, everything after this many miles is kind of settled in to its shifting points with my driving, and just the way we kind of work together. You do have the drive modes down here. We'll go over that in another video. They work, the selector, tow haul, everything is working just fine. But I've really kind of learned the drive modes and how I can get it to work the way I want it to work. And we've kind of settled in to that. So as far as this update, the long-term review of this truck, driving does get better as it learns you. I'm still very much used to the 6-speed and the way that the V8 drove. But this one is a nice medium. It's very linear. It does have a lot of speed. And as you know, the specs on this one, you're close to 400. This isn't the hybrid. So you're close to you're close to 500 pound-feet of torque in this truck. And that's at 2,400 RPMs. That's really low, and that's great for hauling. And it's done that. I see my hauling videos on this. It does everything, and it does it really well. But with the new design, the new materials and things, I just kind of wanted to give you guys a good representation of how it's holding up with no bias. Being a big fan of the Tundra specifically, some of the changes I do like, some of them I do not. I do not like the cabin noise in this, especially with the acoustic glass. With the plastics in here, I don't know, it annoys me. It could just be this truck. So let's jump out, take a look under the hood. Haven't made any modifications to this, and then I'll let you guys go. And I'll see you guys again in my review videos and some upcoming stuff. Just take a quick look under the hood. The only thing I've changed under the hood, if you guys haven't seen under the hood, this is it. It is not super clean because you take in a lot of air through this massive front grille. You got a lot of dust. So I've been through a lot of the US, and here's what we're looking at. Right here is one of your intakes, breathers, whatever you want to call it, your intakes for the turbo, for the engine. Another one on this side. This is twin turbo. The only thing I've changed is I've installed the TRD high performance filters, very similar to K&N. They're washable, rechargeable, and they work really well. It does really kind of pep up the performance. Not that it needed it per se. I just liked it for the throttle feel. With my driving, it does better for me. So I did switch those out. It was less than $100 for the two. So everything is great under here. It's running great. It's had 2 oil changes, I think, with under Toyota Care. All the fluids are great. No leaks. Nothing to report. It runs and drives smooth like it's supposed to in true Toyota fashion. But here's what we're looking at under the hood. All right, guys, that was my update on the Toyota Tundra. You'll be seeing this at some point, I'm sure, after my review videos and some other stuff that I have on this specific Tundra, the SR5 that we purchased ourselves. So we'll have some others on the other trims coming for, press vehicles and things they let me use. But for now, this is what we got. So I hope you guys enjoyed it and learned something. Just wanted to let you guys know, maybe you're looking to buy one of these, going from the older generation to the new one, and kind of want to know what it's going to be like after a while. Because, why worry about it, down the road when you can see someone like me that's driven it for, 15 to 20,000 miles. I'll let you know what I've encountered. I have encountered no issues mechanically. I think there was a few software updates, and the rear brakes, the parking brake, they had a recall to recalibrate or do something. All that's been taken care of. It is great about notifying us and letting us know they took care of it in one of my appointments to change the oil. So no issues, nothing at all. Just the few little minor complaints about noise and things like that, but it's doing well. Again, not what I expected for fuel economy. It's not that much better. And I'm going to be honest about it. Toyota does not pay me for this. So I'm not gonna fib to you. I drive in a way that usually gets some of the best fuel economy. Anyway, it's probably the major complaint I have after all these miles. But is it worth it still? One of our viewers out there asked, is it worth it? Was it worth it to you? But yes, I wanted to try it out. I want to try it out and show you guys. I want to try it for myself. I've owned 15 V8 Tundras. I wanted to know what this one was like. I do wish I would have had the option to get a 4-wheel drive at the time. I can't say the fuel economy or anything about it because I don't have one. But this 2-wheel drive I thought would do even better. And as you can see, I'll let you know what I'm doing in that. So I don't regret it at all. It's been a great truck. It's done a lot of stuff. It's hauled a lot of things. It's traveled across the country. It's hauled my family safely. It's a great truck for anyone out there. So yes, it's worth it. Should you go buy it? Why not? I mean, if it's what you're looking at and it's what you love, do it. It's your money, but it is a great truck. I'll definitely say it's a good truck to own. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'll see you guys next video. And until next time, y'all take care.